Sina's Sexy Suppers and Soups, because healthy is so sexy.
Hi, this recipe is in Sina's Sexy Suppers and Soup because healthy is so sexy, author Jamie M. Sina. And that's me. Welcome to my kitchen. I am going to show you how to make lamb lollipops. This is a rack of lamb. I got this for $20. And I'm going to make some rosemary potatoes with some grilled onions. The seasoning for these, so I am going to cut these so that they have a surface side of 2 on each side because that's what makes it the lollipop. And that way each side gets seasoning. You can also make this as a rack, keep it like a rack like this and season the outside. But when you do that, you lose all that flavor in the middle because it will be the raw meat on every side that doesn't have the end here. So that is why I definitely recommend cutting them like the lollipops individually down the rack. You're going to want to use a nice sharp knife to try to have a smooth cut. We are going to season them with this charcoal seasoning. I got this at my local butcher. And I'm going to spruce it up with a little bit of granulated garlic, onion powder, this pepper supreme right here. It has like 4 different kinds of peppercorns in it, a little bit of salt, and just a tiny bit of rosemary. I am going to make the potatoes and onions, dicing them up, put a little bit of olive oil on them, and I'm going to season those with rosemary, olive oil, and thyme. All right, so that's the plan, and I'll let you watch me do it. Okay, so I just cut this lamb open. Don't mind my couple of dirty dishes in the sink. I'm going to rinse the lamb and blot it with my paper towel. So I'll do that. Okay, now there was this thin layer here of extra, a little bit of meat, but mostly fat on top of the lamb. It was peeled back some through the butchering process, whatever. So I finished peeling that off, and I think I might roast this. I'm going to maybe make like a ragu to flavor some sauce out of that. So I have my lollipops here. They've been washed. Let me show you what they look like. And now they're ready to just get cut down in between here. And they have that nice layer of fat there that will crisp up. And I'm going to cut them off, put a little olive oil on them, and then season them heavily. And then I'm just going to grill them face down like this, probably about 2 minutes each side because I don't want them completely cooked through well. I like mine a little bit like closer to medium well. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do that. Oh my God. My phone just literally just jumped out and hit the floor. Holy shit. All right. So I'm going to season these. Let's cut them first right there. You can kind of feel with your, I'll go this side since it's softer. All right, let's see if this will record. Got my olive oil. These are all cut like little chops now, lollipop chops. Lamb lollipop, drizzle with EVOO. And I'm going to do the charcoal seasoning pretty heavily. And I'm going to toss these around once I get all this seasoning in here so that it gets both sides. And they're just going to hang out. So that was the charcoal. Here's the garlic, onion, the pepper. And you can wait to salt them until after they're grilled, but you know, I'm just going to do a little bit of salt now. Because these are going to be a really fast grill. They're going to grill really quick because they are thin, and just a tad bit of rosemary. And I'm going to have that rosemary on the potatoes. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I'm going to toss these around and put the lid on and wait for them to be tossed onto the grill. And I will probably make sure the grill is sprayed so they don't stick if there's not enough of that olive oil on the exterior. You could also give these one last spray with a spray olive oil before tossing them on the grill. All right, don't spray your grill if the flame is on. All right, stay tuned. I'll show you the finished product. See how beautiful they look? That charcoal seasoning, olive oil, and all those extra spices. evenly seasoned all the way down to the bone, because this has a little bit of meat and fat on there too that is super yummy. Now these are served good with like a little bit of like um, a yogurt sauce, and I like a spicy tri pepper glaze that I've made. I made a wine and pepper Worcestershire sauce with the like a glaze. That recipe is also in my book, but it has Worcestershire, red wine, a little sugar, granulated garlic, granulated onion, peppercorns, little salt, and butter. And I heated that up and let it just marinate. After boiling, I let it marinate and cool down in the fridge overnight. So I'm going to heat that up and serve that alongside of it for extra dipping. A little bit of a yogurt sauce with some dill maybe mixed in with it would be really yummy and delicious, or just yogurt by itself. All right, so we're just going to grill these each side real quick. 2 minutes about each once that grill's real hot. And then those will be done. These are our lamb lollipops. Now I'm going to cut these up, potatoes, with some onion. Put those in a dish and bake them. Or I could saute them on a skillet with some olive oil, rosemary, and pepper. And those will go beside these very nicely. All right, let's cut these babies up. They're already washed, so I'm going to cut them like this. Almost like you would cut like a JoJo. I just like more surface area for them to get like a caramelized crust on them. And I'm going to bake them so that I don't have to babysit them on the stove. If you babysit them on the stove, you're going to have to like watch them and keep tossing them around, making sure they're frying evenly and not sticking or being burned. I'm going to cover these in olive oil and bake them with some seasoning, garlic, and rosemary. And that's it. So put those into my dish. And that way I'll bake them at 350 for probably about 40 minutes. And I have some extra onion here. I'm going to add these. And here's Zach, he's sick. I'm just getting over it too. Nasty cold that's going around. I've had this cold the longest I've been sick in a long time, over 2 weeks. So that's a good size. All right, rosemary and onion potatoes. So get my garlic in there and my rosemary. I actually have a tree of rosemary. I might just go grab a bunch of them because this is grinding it pretty fine. It might take longer. That should be quite enough. Do you see that? Really smells delicious. All right, drizzle my olive oil pretty heavily, probably about a 1/4 cup, just to keep them from sticking. There we go. I'll give them a stir. Evenly distribute that seasoning. And I'm going to actually add just a little bit of salt too. Help pull the water out. All right, that's that. Stick it in the oven, 350 for about 40 minutes. I'm going to do a little bit of tomatoes over here to eat alongside our meal. And I am just going to keep these really simple. I don't have any fresh basil, but I do have dried basil. So I'm going to drizzle them with extra virgin olive oil. My better step it up notch one, not the one that I cook with all the time, but the one that's just used for salads and breads. Make like an oil dip. So this is just going to have, look how gorgeous they are. It's really good olive oil I have here. I have my flour over there waiting for my pizza dough. I'm going to throw together a pizza. There's my olive oil, my balsamic glaze, and some dried basil, and just a pinch of salt. All right, so that can just hang out and be ready for our meal as well. Delicious. All right, I got my grill heating up, and once that gets really hot, I do have a pizza oven stone thing that I've got it down to a science. It just takes like, it's also in my book. So this is a pre-made dough. I usually make my own, but I have been able to get this, which I get 2 pizzas out of, like 2 12 inches about. This was only like $1 from Aldi. So I got this out. I'm gonna cut it in half. And just kind of make it a little bit rounded and even. And then I am going to get the flour on both sides. I'm going to let this kind of hang out just to get a little bit more room temperature. And then I will roll it out like this. Spread some good sauce that I have made. Some really good pepperoni that I got from the butcher block, my local butcher over in Wethersfield. And this is like a so-so mozzarella that I already have. Usually I like to use fresh. Toss that on there. Takes about less than a minute and a half to cook it once the grill's really hot. And I'll drizzle it when it comes out with this extra very good olive oil. And sometimes just a little bit of balsamic glaze is good on the pizza. Or a hot honey, just depending whatever you're feeling. So super easy and simple. All right, so I have 4 minutes on the timer for my potatoes in the oven. I just put together this romaine, fresh grated Parmesan Reggiano, beets, pickled beets, and a little bit of white onion, salt and pepper. I will drizzle this with some olive oil when it's time to eat. You can add just maybe a little bit of maybe like a white balsamic would be good. There's my tomatoes hanging out. There's my fresh grated Parmesan Reggiano. I have my pizza box waiting for my pizza that will go on the grill in my pizza oven. Rolled out my dough here. I have this really doughed up. Usually I like to use a parchment paper. I'm all out to make sure it slides off because this is one of the biggest things that can really ruin your pizza. I'm going to put this on here, just like a ladle of sauce, about a cup of cheese, mozzarella, and the good pepperoni. And that will only take about a minute and a half on the grill inside the pizza oven. So, yum. Let's check the potatoes. Okay, the potatoes were looking good, smelling delicious. I gave them a quick stir and I put the lid on because they are still a little bit hot, hard and not softened. I should have put the lid on at first and then took it off for a faster cook, but I'm still all alone for dinner, so I'm not going to be throwing the lamb chops on the grill or eating the salad or anything until, I don't know, it's 6:30 until Chris gets home, so, and it takes just a few quick minutes, so those have time. I could turn the heat up too. I think I'll turn the heat up to like 375. Yeah, let's do 400. With that lid on, I'm going to do that for about 10-15 more minutes, then I'll take the lid off and let him get a quick sear. I might end up eating this salad while I'm waiting on him. So I'm just going to dress this pizza and roll it out, and then I like to stretch it a little bit. Oh, wow, it's really stretching good now. I want to make sure it still fits in my oven now. All right. Sharp slides. Alexa, stop timer. There's a ladle. Put it there. Toss it around. All right, that's good. And for the cheese. touch around. There's seasoning in the sauce, so I'm not going to add any extra herbs to this because this is mostly for Zach and he doesn't like any of that extra fancy. I will probably drizzle this just with a little bit of olive oil when it's done. All right, time to go slide it in the pizza oven. I usually have Chris do the cooking of the pizza. So I'm just doing it by memory. I set a 1-minute timer. I don't even know if she heard me. Alexa, how much longer is left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Oh, she didn't take my timer. Now I have to think about it in my head. I'm talking like she's gonna hear me. All right, so it was close to a minute. Oh my God. I walked in the house, walked out. Shoot. Let's see if it allows me to turn it. What you're supposed to do is like rotate it. This is not going to be pretty. This is where it's getting all messed up. I don't want to burn it, and I don't want to get it too early though either, because it needs all this heat in there. So it's inside my little pizza oven stone. The grill is at like 425. Usually like to get it to like 500. I'm scared. I hope I don't mess this up. Like I said, I'd almost rather burn it than it be underdone. Check. Doesn't look too bad. Oh shit. Some of it's stuck. Yeah, see, it could just take a little bit. It could take a little bit longer. I'm gonna go like this and give it like 30 more seconds. See, one part stuck in the very back. That sucks. Not bad for my first try though. And then the BITCH didn't take my timer. Oh, I forgot to set another timer. Just doing it by my feel, winging it. That's how I do most of my cooking anyway. You know? La 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 la. Let's wait. I don't know. Do I even share this? So one time I was making the pizza and it just went horribly wrong. It stuck to this thing here, and oh, look, there's a bunch of cheese. Covered in flour. Still tastes good. Anyway, it went horribly wrong, so the whole video got wasted. My phone is so sick of me recording too. It keeps on popping out of the recorder, the stand, and going on the floor. The memory's full. I need to clean it up. All right, that's probably good. Yeah. All right. Come on. All right, not bad. There she is. Time to go cut it. Okay. I'm going to drizzle this with a little bit of olive oil and oregano just on the pieces I want. And here's, they could have used like just a couple seconds longer, but it does have a good crust on it. It tastes so good. Yummy. The second one will be better because you get the timing down. If Alexa took my timer. All right, guys, bon appetit. I'll show you the final with the potatoes and the lamb. Yummy. Olive oil, oregano. And the salad is great. Oh, the TV's annoying. Okay, this one is a little bit less dough and I made it thicker. And it is cooked pretty perfectly. See that? And I was able to rotate it and the crust bubbled because it was hotter. The grill was about 100 degrees hotter. So that for him. I just do it like that, and I just want to show you the crust. See how perfect that is? All right, bon appetit. Now you could drizzle that with olive oil or oregano or whatever. Pizza. I'm just going to show you the crust. Oh, perfect. This is a good one. All right, guys, enjoy. All right, there's the lamb chops cooked probably about like what, a medium well, or medium. And this is the pepper wine Worcestershire glaze that I made. And I wish I had a little bit of yogurt, but I don't. This is so yummy and flavorful. All right. Oh, and the dang it, this thing fell in there. And there's the potatoes. See how good they turned out? All right. Recipes and my Sina's Sexy Suppers and Soups. On your books, search Jamie Sina.
Search Jaime Sina Underbooks on Amazon.com. If you like this recipe, subscribe for more. Sina's Sexy series, because healthy is so sexy.